much. I mean, I believe that we might be the top spenders at that.
We honestly probably
I've been
are.
waiting for a discount or something, something.
What's going on?
You know how they do those like Chipotle cards? Like they need to do that for Arch Street.
Absolutely.
Well, they put a
rewards.
Springsteen card. That's what it's Springsteen card.
Yeah.
They put up a new sandwich like every couple weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
and their last one looked pretty interesting. It was like it was like the jalapeno one, right?
Oh yeah.
Cream cheese and something. But hey, I trust them. Whatever they make, it's good. And I hate to say it, as much as I trust them with whatever sandwich they make, I'm always going to stick to Brucey. I can never get away from Bruce. Hold the Bruce. We love a good old Springsteen. But yeah, shout out to Arch Street, just maybe 15 yards away from us right now. Yeah. In my opinion, the best spot on this campus, to say the least.
It's up there.
You can't go wrong. Yeah, I mean, free pickle, right? Free chips.
Free chips.
Are you serious? Like, come on, who else is doing that?
They got
for like $9.
Exactly.
Breakfast.
Smoothies, breakfast, right? They added. We're toting around some sour punch right here. They're like, I had to give me some sour punch.
Yeah, they added like candy and stuff. Now they're getting big.
They're getting huge. I mean,
they got to do another hot sauce challenge. Didn't they do that earlier in the year?
Yeah, I don't think we didn't attend.
We would have cooked that.
But I was like, yeah, are you
it would have been unfair for us.
Was it a free T-shirt? Was it a free T-shirt?
Yeah.
Okay. Please, we'd be wearing those T-shirts every day.
The sandwich.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's easy.
Yeah, no, I mean, we should be running those contests because, again, I do believe that as far as the fandom for Arch Street in the Springsteen, we are the face. We are the face of it.
Prodigy. Poster boy, if you will.
Yes, exactly.
Eventually, we're going to have to see if we can work up a little contract with them, maybe a little sponsorship or something. Maybe we could do a show in Arch Street one day.
I like where your head's at, man.
That'd be awesome.
I like that.
Do you know how to play the piano?
A little bit. I'm learning. I can play maybe like a song or two, so I'll get up there,
A little show in Arch Street.
Woo the people.
I love that. That's awesome.
Mac on Springsteen after.
But yeah. Yeah, super exciting. Just getting the day right. You know what I mean? And as we talked about it last week, just being an academic weapon. What better way than to start with a Brucey Poo or end with a Brucey Poo? You know what I mean? Whatever floats the boat. But Isaiah, sorry about our mic. Our mic is a little broken. Just make sure to kind of talk into it, like get as close as you can to it, because our stands are, as you can tell, everything in this room is very hold.
Yo, Zay, try hitting like the twisty on the side to see the Titans.
Oh yeah, the Titans.
Wagner's educated.
Move it up. Yep.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
There it is.
There you go.
That's that Dayton education right there.
That's
that academic weapon.
What
do we say?
That's the journalism education. Shout out communications. Which again,
J School.
Yeah.
We go to the J School.
We go to the J School.
Yep.
And again, the crazy thing is, we're sitting in this room, and it really is iconic. I mean, there's a ton of posters in here. And a lot of good music.
Studio in a semester.
We have a new studio. Yeah,
that's gonna be nice.
In a year will be.
It's gonna be so.
We'll be in
an
entire. Yeah, it is gonna be kind of far.
Close to you guys.
It's supposed to be like past Fitz. So like there's Fitz.
It's closer to the arena.
Is that what they're building over there?
Yeah, that huge building is going to be.
I've always wondered what that building was.
Right. So there's going to be a TV studio, a podcast room, radio station, a bunch of new classrooms.
Joe's Sanctuary is what it sounds like.
Yeah, for real.
That's what Wags. That's what we'll be sleeping and eating.
Getting after it.
That's
man.
all we do.
We're going to work in there.
Exactly. That'll be our new home next year.
I like it.
So we'll be in there. But yeah, sorry about that, Mike. Well, everything's in here is a little old. But Isaiah, before we take a quick little break, and I think we're gonna play a little Bruce Springsteen. It's only right.
Yeah, it's only right.
I do want to ask. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into this, this show. Obviously,
would you like to know?
How's your week been?
Yeah, how's your week been?
It's been pretty good. I can't complain. Had a psychology exam on Tuesday. It went pretty well. No complaints. Right now in the midst of preparing myself for Spanish. It's been tough. It's second semester at it. But I really can't. Morty, my roommate, all praise to him.
Shout out Mortimer. We'll get him on the show eventually.
Yeah.
But I mean,
he's always giving me a helping hand. Always there to help me, which is great. You know.
He's the best.
But like I said, I can't complain. I'm still waiting to get the Dayton basketball experience. I have yet to go to a game. That's probably the.
Do you have your voucher?
I do.
That's crazy, bro.
Dude, the tickets go so quick though.
Yeah,
they have been
20 minutes.
I'm also not very, I procrastinate a lot. It's kind of like the last, I'm very last minute to things.
Yeah, like if it happens, it happens. It's gotta kind of fall in your hands. I will say,
we'll get you to one.
We got a big matchup, not this Saturday, but the next Saturday, or excuse me, Friday, not this Friday, but the next Friday. Home game against St. Louis. That'll be their.
I'll make sure I'm there. I'll be there in attendance. Don't worry.
That's a a big game.
That'll be their biggest game of the year.
Yeah, I'll be there.
When do those tickets drop?
So those will probably
Monday?
they usually drop
4 days before, so Tuesday actually.
and it's always at noon. So they always drop those at noon.
Tuesday.
For the St. Louis game, I'd probably say 10 minutes tops. You got to get a ticket.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I mean, they're number 1, right? Or is it VCU
They're number.
still?
VCU's
I was gonna
2.
say, what's the
VCU's 2.
okay.
Dayton's still sitting at 3.
Awesome. I love it.
And
If we want to win the regular season, we have to win.
they got to win those 2
VCU
games
and the St. Louis.
and they're back-to-back games. And we'll have a little bit of segment where we talk about that. Obviously, a lot to talk about Dayton basketball.
Yeah.
9
but-
start times.
But I mean, an independent man out of Indianapolis.
Yes,
out of
yes.
Indy.
Well,
Tell me a little bit about your
I'll tell you,
background.
Dayton, I kind of, stumbled upon it. As you said, I'm from Indianapolis. Most people from the Indiana area are, Purdue or IU kids.
Right.
So, but I had other classmates that go here. Shout out Oziyama.
Yeah.
Told me about this. Told me about this little place called Dayton. I took a visit. And, very nice. Fell in love with it. Obviously, the neighborhood and everything. It's amazing.
Right.
But yeah, can't complain.
We were talking about this yesterday. Obi Toppin helped recruit you a little bit too.
Yeah, Obi. At least for the Dayton basketball aspect of it,
Yeah.
because I never really,
that.
I never was a fan prior, obviously.
Right.
And it was kind of just I never really knew much about them being their program history, so to speak.
And then you see this guy out of nowhere at some random school
see
in
Dayton's number 1
Southern
right now,
Ohio, and he's doing through the leg dunks. He's doing East Base in game. Yes, man, that was a time, and I wish. As far as basketball, maybe one day we'll be able to go back to the glory days of 2020.
Glory days.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. Shout out Kodak. I wish we had Kodak on our stereo.
Oh my gosh.
Please, if we did, I'd be playing that all the time.
Yeah.
But we got to follow the FCC rules.
Skirt.
But Isaiah, tell me a little bit about your sports background. I mean, growing up in Indy, like you said, Purdue and IU. Who do you have this weekend?
Oh,
Basketball, right?
I'm rolling with the Hoosiers. It's
the Hoosiers
in
at
Assembly
home.
Hall. I understand Purdue is the number 1 team right now in the country, but strange things happen in Assembly Hall. It would not be the first time IU. They saw against Kentucky previous
Last year?
God. That was
Last year,
yeah,
IU beat
last
them?
year. I mean, they prime example, but
they can beat the number 1 team at home, and like you said, I mean that Kentucky game where they beat Anthony Davis's Kentucky team. That was oh my. Do you remember that?
Oh my goodness!
I mean,
I remember watching it on the TV when I was at my friend's house, and it was literally they just stormed the court. My friend was older brother, and he gets up and he's
unbelievable. I remember just watching that on TV, and that was one of my that's still to this day one of my favorite college basketball moments I've ever seen in my entire life.
Who was calling that game again?
It was Dickie Vitale.
I think it was Dick Vitale,
and then I forgot who he was with.
Gotta be Dick.
But I remember they showed Tom Crean after they hit that shot, and he's just got his mouth like Indiana's coach, and he's just like, "Wow, we just beat the number 1 team in the country." That team that Kentucky team lost 1 game that year, and it was to that buzzer beater against Indiana. Won the national championship. One of the greatest college basketball teams of all time.
Oh my gosh.
But again, like you said, I do like Trace Jackson. I think he's a good player, and I think there's not a lot of guys, if any guys, that can really hang with Zach Edey on a night in, night out basis as far as size, as far as But if there's a guy in the Big Ten that can do it, I think from an athletic standpoint, it's definitely him.
I agree, and I feel like those guys all want to play behind Coach Woodson, and I think he does a great job getting the guys together and kind of playing as one. So
they got some dudes.
They got some dudes,
and they show
like
sparks.
They said,
They've had a few,
They've had some injuries this season. They've had a few ups and downs, but that's always been IU basketball. They've always had their
And I like Jalen Hood-Schifino. He's another guard that I think we'll see if he's a one and done. I think he's really talented. He might play a big factor into that because, again, Zach Edey and Trace Jackson Davis. That's going to be a huge matchup going in that game, but. You got to take a look at the backcourt. And, Lawyer for Purdue has had a good year. Purdue's just had a bunch of guys that can shoot it, and it works perfectly offensively when you got, a 7-footer in there who every time he catches the ball down low, they're going to send a double team. It just gets guys, it just gets shooters open from beyond the arc. Right.
What time is the game?
I believe it's 4.
It's 4 o'clock. I had a buddy text me. Oh, shout out to Ryan Troutman. He said that he had a $50 ticket in my hands, and unfortunately, I cannot go.
Wow!
But his buddy is selling a ticket for $50, and
I'm still trying to get down there for the game. All the tickets I've seen online are like $600. So that $50 ticket.
Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, my buddy's just trying to get it out," and I was like, $50 is a steal. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't go. I have a shoot to do.
You should have bought it or you sold it.
Yeah, right. I should have
honestly,
a little profit.
Easily.
Yeah. But if I didn't have anything to do, if it wasn't for I have to go to this cooking show shoot for a class. If it wasn't for that, I'd be hauling down to Indiana to catch that game because it's gonna be a fun one.
I think it'll be exciting, like you're saying. Obviously, the rivalry history, but both coaches played for their schools. The can't think of the guy's name right now. Purdue's head coach. He played for Purdue.
It's
under.
I forget.
Right.
The face. I know the face from a mile away. Yeah, it's Matt. I forget the last name.
And then Mike Woodson played under Bob Knight. So I mean, both those guys have the tradition in the
culture.
Game. The culture there. So I think it's gonna be a clash of Bloomington.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a clash of Bloomington.
Well, you know what they say about Indiana? It's where hoops are grown.
That's true. Yeah.
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy? We'll see. We'll see this Saturday.
We'll find out on Saturday.
But as far as other teams, Isaiah, obviously. Got to rock with the Colts a little bit, correct? And I know you.
Yes. I am a Colts fan. I am a Colts fan just from being there, But
yeah,
Dad's also a Bears fan. But they're both those organizations. They're both
not the hottest past couple years. But I think all of us in this room can say
I noticed that the Bengals offensive coordinator has had multiple interviews with the Colts about the head coaching position. So we'll see where that goes. I think that would be a great addition. Bengals have had a lot of success offensively these past couple of seasons, and the Colts have struggled recently. And I think that, I believe it's quarterback play, but it's also the coaching staff. So we'll
Saturday, he's got to go.
Yeah, he's got to go.
And, I mean, it's been, again, like you said, coaching-wise, he stepped in, but
there's not much
levels to it. Especially in the offseason, they got a lot to do. And so do the Bears, I think. It's pretty.
So does Washington. I mean, all of our teams are in interesting spots.
I got a lot of two. And for the Bears, I mean, number one pick in the draft, I would say 99% chance they trade that away.
I was going to say,
get some good picks.
I think the Bears are in a good spot right now.
I think
seeing Justin Fields,
got a lot of money.
Really good.
Yeah, and I think I saw I heard reports a few days ago that they're going to stick to Justin Fields, and anybody who actually sits down and watches him play would probably agree. Despite you can't just look at the box score and be like, oh, he only passed for 100 yards. I mean, the Bears, it was a rough year,
right?
Offensively,
it's
offensive
never
line
for the Chicago Bears. It never has been,
right?
So I mean,
so they're definitely going to build around him.
But like you were saying, it definitely showed the league, or just the team, that they can stick with Justin Fields and have success, even though they didn't have a very successful year. He definitely played as he should, with not a lot of help around.
And they got a lot of money too. I mean, they're probably gonna, we'll see what they do with these draft picks. If they go, for some guys, obviously, there's been a few receivers because, the receiving core for Chicago isn't very good. Definitely maybe the worst in the league. But there's some guys like Mike Evans who's had, a lot of talk around, swapping squads.
Imagine Mike Evans in Chicago.
Devontae Adams is another guy that,
those would be
with Derek Carr leaving, but also, a few good receivers. I think Jackson Smith and Jigba is unbelievable. And he could be a guy that, a squad like the Bears take for sure.
Speaking of football, we got to talk about last week's games.
Oh yeah,
and how I got neither of my picks right this week, so I went from a very hot week to a very bad week, but not much you can do about that.
Yeah, I split this week, but we had some good games. The Bengals game, that was tight. That was a good game.
Matt Painter is the Purdue coach.
Yeah,
I could recognize his face from a mile away. He's been coaching forever.
I just couldn't.
Yeah, he's their guy. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, my Bengals. They didn't look too. Actually, I thought they played a good game. Depending on who you ask, they're gonna either blame the refs or I don't even know, defense maybe.
Ref blaming.
Yeah, it was a really fun game to watch though, and I think the biggest takeaway from that game for me is more it's just kind of sad to see a season end like that. I don't care who you're a fan of, to see a season end on a play that shouldn't have been a game-winning play. So, but either way, I still thought it was a really good game.
Yeah, great game. I think Cincinnati played pretty well. They had some spots and some areas in that game, where they could have done a little bit more to put them in a better position to win the game and not put them in that position at the end of the game.
Exactly.
But again, you can't, in a game that's that close, officiating is important. And you can sit there and say, you could have played better. Obviously, they could have done more to win that game. But in a game that close, there are calls that can decide the game. Obviously, that call at the end with the late hit on Patrick Mahomes, that was a penalty. But there were several calls before then that would have set them up. It would have put Cincinnati in a better position to maybe send it to overtime.
Yeah.
Especially I don't know, just a few different
Joe
plays.
Burrow drive, a lot of flags,
and
at some point you have to blame Joe Burrow. I mean, Joe Burrow had the ball left with like a minute and a half, tie game. I mean, if Joe Burrow is if we're saying Joe Burrow is a top 3 quarterback, I think most